Hello and welcome back to another update where I cover the latest developments throughout the front line in the Russo-Ukrainian war. It is your host Weeb Union, and in this one we start out in the direction of Urashine, where according to this geolocated footage, the Russians launched an armored assault along the forest line here to the east of the village. However, it ended in failure as the Ukrainian FPV drones and artillery hit the Russian vehicles in their advance. With this, fighting continues here in the direction of the village of Urashine under Ukrainian control, as the Russians are looking to flank the Ukrainian positions and expand their foothold within the village. Moving on to the next section of the front line, we see here to the west of Marinka in the direction of Rifka, the Russians had some forward positions which are now contested, and they are now contesting the Ukrainian positions here to the south. So fighting continues here in the direction of the village of Rifka, where the Russians conduct offensive operations and the Ukrainians counterattack on a regular basis, leaving majority of the village here in the center in the gray zone, as neither side can claim control of these areas. Moving on to the next section of the front line, we see here in the direction of Nitailova, there has been an advance by the Russians. This is a small advance. However, the gray zone has significantly expanded as fighting continues throughout the central parts of the village, with the school and clinic area here in the central parts of the town being heavily contested by both sides. Whoever gains control over the central parts, if the Russians gain control of it, they can push on to the western parts and gain control over the rest of the village. While if the Ukrainians retain control of the area, then they will be able to slow down the Russian offensive operations here in the area and to repel yet another Russian attack. So we see that heavy fighting is taking place in the central parts of Nitailova. Further north in the direction of Ocheretin and northwest towards Novoalexandrivka, the Russians have captured yet another fortification in the direction of the town, leaving only one singular to the southeast, after which the town itself will be open for Russian assaults, coming both from the east and from the south through the railways. With this, the Ukrainian positions by Novoalexandrivka are becoming more and more vulnerable as the Russian offensive operations continue in the direction of the town. Further north here in the direction of Mifka, the Russians have made a small advance. This is yet another armored assault. However, it is light armor, simply armored vehicles, regular kind, driving Russian infantry to the first line, where the infantry then fights through the first line to gain control over both of them, while at the same time Ukrainian artillery and FPV drones are landing on those Russian soldiers. The Russian soldiers stormed Ukrainian defensive positions in this forest line, which left with them gaining control of it, and this leads to multiple forest lines here in between Silmehivka and Russian positions, but by the main road through Kolomichivka leaves the Russians with an open road towards Mifka after the capture of this forest line. So this is a significant advance by the Russians towards the village of Silmehivka. And that'll be all for this update. It is a short one as there's been no significant changes across the front line. That will be all for this update. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, check out my Patreon for additional content. Thank you all for watching and have a great day.